All right, let's watch this game show.
All right, this is one of my favorite game shows. I'm just going to give you the premise a little bit. It's called...
Sorry.
It's called Moment of Truth. It only had 2 or 3 seasons. People come in, contestants, answer questions while hooked up to a lie detector. They get 50 questions. Then they have to come out in front of the live audience and their family and friends and answer those 10 of those questions, or 21 of those questions.
What is the science behind a lie detector test? Is that real?
You can cheat it. It's really easy to cheat.
So it's not reliable. Like in
No.
court, is that useless information?
Yeah, you can't even use it.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's see this thing.
All right, this is from the Moment of Truth. This is the question 21, $500,000 question.
For those of you who may not be clear about what the process is, let me be very clear of how this works. She was asked 3 questions in a controlled environment.
That's her dad.
There are 3 readings that come on a polygraph: deceptive, not deceptive, or inconclusive. We made sure that we had a conclusive read, and the producers have picked one of those 3 questions.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
And I hold it in my hand. Before I read this question, given the gravity of this question, I'm going to give you an option.
Jesus,
I'm
get
going
to
show
it.
you this question.
They're going to take a while.
So did you
She
know
looks like
which of
that
the 3
girl
was
in
selected?
that indie darling girl
At that
from the 90s and early
If you decide
2000s
that
who was
this
in
is a
like
question that is too big of a secret,
Mighty Wind.
too big of a truth to reveal on television,
She's in Days
no one
Confused.
will ever hear this question. If, however, you decide to go for it and you answer truthfully, you will be the only person ever to have won $500,000 on the Moment of Truth.
No one's ever won this show before.
They're like, fuck that.
Is there anything you'd like to say to Melanie before we start?
You're gonna have to follow your heart, but it looks like you're about to cry. I don't know, hon. You work it. You've been doing awesome.
You can tell by that shirt
So
that
if you
man is
think
in
you
a
got
lot of
one more
debt.
in you,
Yeah.
He's like,
Don't-
just say whatever the
don't
fuck
like
you
what they
want.
asked you.
You don't wear that
You know how
shirt
I
unless
felt about it.
you're in with a
Don't
bookie
like to
like
walk
for
with
like
me.
too large.
Yeah.
Easy.
Charlie, anything you'd like to add?
Own it. Work it.
What does work it
That's what
mean
you
to these
always
people?
say, you know? Own it.
Just work it.
Okay.
we love
What do you think I should do? Work it?
Okay.
Yeah. It's Brittany, bitch.
It's a tough question, you guys. It's freaking brutal. So we'll see if
It's
All
freaking
3 of them are
brutal.
brutal?
I thought they were. Yeah.
How
Okay,
do you
is there
feel
one in particular
about
that
the Holocaust?
you feel is more brutal than the others?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're going to show her the question.
Does that help?
Thanks.
Okay. Here's the question.
Where'd he pull that tissue out of? He didn't have a box.
He's got a dispenser.
Is that the one you were fearing it
Yes.
might
She
I
has
knew
the
they were
option
gonna
to
do it.
not answer and not even have the question read. No one will find out what the question
So,
was, and she could say
be? Melanie,
no.
you need to do what you need to do,
500 grand.
okay?
After
If you'd like to
taxes.
continue, you can. Answer truthfully, $500,000. If you continue and answer incorrectly, your $350,000 drops to $25,000.
This guy should have a tie on. I hate that blazer with the button up.
Melanie,
with no
this
tie
is your
under it.
moment of truth.
Oh,
What would
yeah.
you like to do?
I'm gonna do it for my dad. I'm gonna go for it.
Oh, here we go. Hell yeah, baby!
You're going for it? Holy moly.
She's like, y'all don't know what you're in store for.
But no.
I gotta admit, let me turn this down a little bit. I gotta admit, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, dude.
Are you okay?
It's a tough question, excuse me. But it's a tough question.
Wait, pause it real quick. Let me ask you this. Before we get to the question, would you guess that her life is still fucked up from answering this question?
Don't want me to spoil anything?
You don't have to spoil anything, but is it that like...
I mean, it's been almost 20 years or 15 years probably since this aired. I'll say someone's life is fucked up.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Someone's life is not cool.
That's a up question, man.
It's a tough question. But I can do it. So let's do it.
You got it, girl.
But no, what is it? Can she answer it right? What is it about? It's breaking her up.
go.
Yes?
Yeah, we're going for it.
Okay. For $500,000, Melanie Williams. Question 21.
God, they really ripped who would be you want to be
Do
a
you
millionaire,
believe
whatever.
your father, as an adult, has ever had sexual relations?
Oh! Oh, fuck! I'm going to do this for my daddy? She said I'm going to do this for my daddy.
Yeah.
So basically, if she answers this question, unless I'm assuming the answer is yes because you pulled the video, her father essentially is going to get paid $500,000 to fuck a kid. Can they prosecute off of that?
I don't know, dude.
Hit play. Oh!
Commercial break.
Oh, you cocksuckers.
Coming up later.
Should I skip the commercial
What?
break?
By the way, if this really did happen to a kid, that kid has been traumatized in a way that not a lot of people understand. And to have the worst moment of their life used as a teaser to sell like fucking Clorox bleach
Yeah, dude.
is insane.
Yeah.
Where they're like, hold on. You know the worst thing that could ever possibly happen? After a message, we'll get right back to this. First, we're going to hear from fucking Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. Tony the Tiger comes on. And they're literally they used the worst. I think it's worse than murder, right?
Child rape?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worse.
It's at least more twisted.
It's probably the worst thing you could possibly do as a human being, and they're using potentially a real one to sell hats.
Yeah, dude.
It is so fucked up that she couldn't say it's a fucking tough question.
Yeah.
They had to bleep that and blur her mouth. Couldn't say that, but they could use child molestation as a teaser to sell fucking products.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right, let's get back to it.
Okay, so right now they're about to show you the preview for the rest of the episode. Do you want to watch it or should I skip to the question?
I definitely skipped to the question.
Okay.
I don't. It's not like I'm going to start watching the show.
Well, it's great.
What an insane. This has got to be what are we looking at? Like 03, 04?
Ooh, I think like 08, 09.
Oh my God.
Oh, I think Obama era.
Really? It feels W.
Yeah, it does.
It feels like, remember that show, Son of a Beach?
No.
Howard Stern did like a Baywatch parody.
No.
And it had like 4 seasons. It seems like that era. Girls Gone Wild.
Hell yeah.
Like, people are really upset with how uptight things are. But if you just do a YouTube dive of shows from like 03, you're like,
Yeah.
we needed a little course correction.
Oh yeah, I'm watching Rock of Love right now with Bret Michaels, season 1, and every minute he's like, I gotta go take a cold shower because he's constantly like, I gotta go jack off. Every minute he says he has to jack off.
He feels insecure about his diabetes. He's actually shooting insulin up, but he just wants people to think he's a virile man.
Yeah.
Right? He's diabetic, right?
I didn't know that.
Pretty sure he's the diabetic
He
one.
looks diabetic.
Yeah. Here we go. Do you think you're dead?
10 years.
Just say no.
Well then,
For $500,000.
it depends on if she's lying or not. You gotta tell the truth.
Melanie
And it's
Williams.
just attached to the pulse.
Yeah.
Question
My pulse would
21.
raise if somebody asked if my father had sex with a kid.
Yeah.
Do you believe your father, as an adult, has ever had sexual relations with a minor?
Oh, hell no!
He's holding it together surprisingly well.
I don't know if he is.
He looks like he's about to.
Yeah, dude.
My head would explode.
What if she was like, now are we in the state of Connecticut or
What
are we in
state
New
are we in?
York? Because that's what Ramsey would have said.
Yeah.
Remember, Ramsey can rattle off the age of consent for all 50 states. I used to be able to do that with blood alcohol content. I used to be able to be like, all right, I'm about 0.9, so I can drive to Wyoming, but once we cross that border, somebody's got to take over. All right.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
She said, I'm so sorry.
That answer is
What if confetti drops when they say correct? You've won $5,000. All right, come on with the pause.
True.
They're clapping.
Yeah.
They just clapped. So my point was right.
Yeah. Please comfort the pedophile.
You just won $500,000.
What the fuck? How is this a show? They're all hugging him. Like he's aggrieved.
Yeah.
Come on, you
Like something bad happened to him.
You did it all, okay? I have you.
You did it all. If you hadn't fucked that minor, I wouldn't have $500,000, man. What the fuck?
Okay, listen. First things first.
Chris
You're the
Johansson
first
comes
person
out,
ever
or whatever his
to
name
make
is.
a
Chris
trade
Hansen.
question.
Chris Wilson.
It wasn't easy, but
Yeah.
hopefully
Take a
that
seat.
$500,000 is worth the pain and effort.
This is the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life, dude.
This
Is
is
this
what
like
I'm-
viral right now? Like,
No.
you found this?
Yeah.
You were a
You won
genius.
the money, and I'm
Wait.
happy for you, but the question needs to be addressed. So let's talk about it for a second. Would you like to say something first?
I would actually. This whole question, it's a complicated question because my dad. I mean, the whole thing was not him doing it. It was men telling him what to do. They gave him a wife. He took it. You step up and take wives in this society, and he did, and he feels very guilt-ridden and very guilty about it. It's killing him. I
You
know
step
it
up
is.
and take
Are you
wives?
saying that one of his four
Okay, so I think I think they're Mormon, and they have multiple wives,
Which is illegal.
which is illegal. And also, so she's excusing him by saying that he had pressure from
Is he
they're-
in the Warren Jeffs?
I don't
Is
know.
he in with Warren Jeffs?
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Warren Jeffs is the conservative LDS guy. There's a documentary on him on Netflix right now where he was bouncing between Utah and Arizona, evading the law. He had like 65 wives, and like 17 of them were underage. And then he was moving them all to a compound in Texas.
Whoa.
And it's a classic Netflix documentary where it could have been one episode, but
Yeah.
it's like fucking 7.
7. There's
Yeah.
drone shots for no reason.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But he was forcing kids to marry, like to break up families to keep his power.
Mm-hmm.
So if like a man challenged his position, he would make their daughter marry some, like their 14-year-old daughter marry him or some other guy just to fuck with their heads and to keep. I wonder if he was in with that, but also, so he had an underage sister wife.
Yeah. So what happens is, we don't have to watch the rest of the video. I'll just wrap it up. She says the girl was 16 or 17 or something like that. And then people did the research, and the girl was 14.
And he was banging her. He didn't just marry her.
Yo, he had sex with her.
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah.
So the man got to break the law as a bigamist or a polygamist or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he got to break the law as a pedophile. And his punishment is his daughter won $500,000 off of it.
In the 2000s, $500,000 is a lot.
It makes you sympathize with QAnon a little bit. Yeah. You know what I mean? When they're like, pedophiles are running the world. And then, like, it's 10 years ago, however long this was, a guy was getting rewarded $500,000 for having sex with a 14-year-old. No prosecution. Nothing happened. Just confetti. People applauded for him. They were rubbing his shoulders. They're rubbing his shoulders like when Klay Thompson tore his fucking ACL in the finals. Yeah. They were like carrying him off like he suffered an injury.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's what you got to be careful. Like when people are complaining about, PC wokeness, there's a little short-term memory, and a lot of the people are pushing back on that. Because you're like, some things needed to change.
Yeah.
Some things needed to change. Not everything. I don't know if we need half the shows that are on HBO Max right now. I think we can get rid of all of that. We just get rid of HBO Max, I think.
Yeah. Well, they got one show. They got one good show, but yeah.
What?
Nathan show, the rehearsal.
Right. Would you say what's the fucking sick ass show, the good show that
Oh, Righteous Gemstones.
Is that Max though?
Well, it's HBO.
It's HBO, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I guess.
So I was right, half the shows.
After show.
half the shows need to go. They're not course correcting anything. But good Lord, that was insane, dude.
Wasn't that awesome?
He looks like if Jake the Snake like had gotten clean.
Yeah.
You know, and cleaned his act up. And by cleaned his act up, I meant have 4 wives and some of them be underage. Actually, Jake the Snake is a lot less dirty. Jake the Snake was just smoking crack, which only affected him and his snake.
Yeah.
It didn't
He was
affect
smoking
anybody
crack.
else.
The snake is chilling. He's
Yeah. Blowing crack. He loves it.
like, so the snake turns straight when he smokes crack.
The snake starts stealing bicycles.
That's so stupid.
Come on, baby. Come on, Jakey. Just a little hit, baby.